Greetings from Elijah the prophet. I am a prophet of old, out of the Old Testament of the Bible, of the Holy Bible. Before I begin, I would like to say hello to some of my friends. And I hope you get a chance to view this on YouTube. I like to say hello to the girls at Purebred Deli. I like to say hello to Miss Mary San Diego. And I would like to say hello to Miss Melody Harrison. I hope you all get a chance to view this. And to all of you who's out there, make no different race, creed, or color. I am the one that you all have been waiting for. I am that prophet that's supposed to come back into the world. Elijah the prophet himself. I'm also here to prove to you all that I am that prophet. First of all, I would like to begin in the mountains on the Appalachian Trail. This is how the story began. How I became to be that prophet. I went to the mountains several times before now. Once I was there for 40 days and 40 nights without anything, just a small amount of water. And when I got back home, I was on my knees crawling up the stairways. And the Lord spoke to me and said, you have to go all of the way. I got angry. But I said within myself, after all, He is the Lord. So I finally got a chance to go back. But all my plans had changed when I went back. My plans was, how can I make it? Remember, I just pulled off the 40 days and 40 nights. And all the other times, I went into the Appalachian Trail. I fell. Each time I went, I fell. And the Spirit was on me so hard till it drove me to want to do something desperate. And a friend of mine's, I would like to call his name, but not at the present time. I won't call his name because I didn't get his permission. We made a plan. We made a plan to change me like a chain, chain, chains me, in the mountains, so I wouldn't be able to leave. So what the dear brother did for me, we got a tent, and we found a spot in the mountains. The brother and his wife is the one who bought the tent for me. God bless them too. Bless them to the highest. I love those two people. And the reason why I love the brother so, because the brother risked his life just for me. And the plans was this. He changed me to a tree. And I was at the tree for a long period of time. And I told him, now listen, don't be afraid of what you're doing. That's because if anything should happen, my brother, I want you to go and pretend that you never known me. Just pretend that you don't know how I got here. Got up here on this mountain. See, I'm out of Philadelphia. And we was up on the Blue Ridge Mountain, up on the Appalachian Trail. The Appalachian Trail stretched from around, I think, from Georgia to Maine. And we had to find a place up on the Appalachian Trail where I could be concealed. And he told me, he said, now listen, you are in the wild. Matter of fact, the KKs is out here. He said the wild animals are out here, bears, everything is out here. Coyotes and everything. I said, I understand, my brother. I said, well, let's don't talk about that, because he was getting, I didn't want him to say no. I said, just do what I say do. So the brother took the change and put it around my ankle. And we took leaves from the trees and put it around the change. And I told him, I said, now take the key with you. When you go, don't look back. Well, he asked me, he said, well, listen, how am I going to know when you want me to take you loose from this change? I said, don't worry about it. Somehow or another, I'll contact you in the spirit. In the meantime, he left. Now, this is where the interesting part comes into place. I was in the mountain for a long period of time. Then one day, as I was lying on my cot, I had a little something I had for a bed. The Lord came. He didn't frighten me. God himself said, what you have on your leg there? A change? And I was speechless. All I could say, I humbled myself. I don't hear so many people say if they was in the presence of the Lord, what they would tell him and all this year. I was speechless. That God himself was speaking to me. He said, do you want me to take it off? And I said, said, first of all, let me tell you how he approached me. He approached me, he was in like radiation. You see radiation on a highway when it's real hot? Or look across a field and see the radiation leaping from the ground like heat waves. That's what it was. He said, you know what? He said, you my baby. God himself called me his baby. Not Jesus now. I'm speaking about the Father. We'll speak about Jesus Christ on another subject. But the Father told me, you are my baby. I raised you. He said, nobody never did nothing to you and got away with it. He said, I got them. He said, I got them. He said, listen, get up. Come on outside, let me show you something. I got up from my bed where I was, because I was not lying down, I was sitting on the side of the bed. I went on the outside. And when I was on the outside, I didn't see the radiation no more, but I could hear his voice talking to me. He said, look. And I looked up into the sky, up into the heavens. This is something that I started not to tell you all, but I don't think it would be any harm to tell you all. I looked up into the sky, into the heavens, and I saw it was in the shape of the moon. It was round like the moon, but it was red hot. It was huge. And I saw a line came from it. And I saw a little small, like a ball on the end of it. And it went all the way across the sky. And when it got to the other end, it stopped. And it went back, and the force of it and the speed of it, and it hit this ball of power in the sky. And I replied, I said, oh, when they said, it's a boom, just like the earth was about to split in two. I said, oh no. And the Lord said, oh yes, you my baby. And in the meantime, I didn't know something else was out there. A voice spoke to me again on my right-hand side and said, I'm just trying to give you a demonstration. I didn't see it. I'm just telling you. It said, He give his prophets power to destroy. And I said, oh no. Then the Lord told me, he said, come on over here, let me show you something else. Remember now, I still had this change on me, but the change was long. But I hadn't been thinking about the change no longer because my mind was on what was going on in the mountains. Then he had someone, another angel, calling roll call. See, I had a tendency to when people would offer me a donation, I wouldn't accept it. I was very, very funny about accepting donation. And the Lord told me, he said, listen, I gave you that. That's mine. And when he said that, someone began to call the roll call. They called the roll call, and some of the names that, first of all, let me tell you what he said. He said, I didn't let nothing happen to you then. And I sure ain't gonna let nothing happen to you now. When he said that, everything was opened up to me. I knew then meant in the past. I also knew something else too. He said, you didn't have to come in these mountains to be a prophet. He said, you was already that. But he said, you tell the one who I'm speaking about, I won't call his name right now. When did I came to him and told him that he was a prophet? Now let's go back to where we were. They began to call roll call. And it must have been people that I have never known at the rocking of my cradle. Because the names he was calling, I didn't remember. And then he said unto me again at the end of that, he said, do you want me to take the change off you? And I said, I'm still humble now. That's why I know when you meet God face to face, you are not going to tell him what's on your dear sweet mind. You're not going to be no stronger than I was. You're going to humble yourself too before a mighty God. Some of the things the Lord said unto me, I will not tell you. But what I can tell you, I will tell you. But now it must be understood. If you say, and this is what I'm here for, I'm here to prove it. That's what I'm here for. If you have any comments, please write in to us. Anything on your dear sweet mind, please let us know. You see, when you say you is a prophet, those are some really, really big shoes to be wearing. And I do know that. Not only can you say that you is a prophet, you must prove that you is a prophet. Let me say this to you. I'm that same prophet that walked in Jezebel and Ahab time. I'm that same prophet that got on a chariot, a fiery chariot, and took off into the heavens. I'm that same prophet that went against Baal in biblical times. I'm that same prophet who the world said Elijah supposed to come back. And I am back because God himself said so. Now, I got one more thing I want to read you, and then I'm going to stop. I want you to hear this. This is out of the Holy Bible. And this is what it said in Deuteronomy 18 and verse 20. That's where I'm going to stop at, verse 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And I said, these are the words that came from the Heavenly Father, God himself. He said, that prophet shall die. And everything I say, I'm here to prove what I say. I am the world's prophet. I'm that prophet that came back to put everything back in order. I am the one that excuse me one second, that the Muslim called the great Caliph. I am here. Not only am I here, I'm here to prove that I'm here. You will be hearing from me more often, but I will be doing my work. Thank you very much at this time. I'll see you again next time. Please tune in.